Keffals is a drug addict on the internet. There we go. Fucking that's the intro. Keffals is a drug addict on the internet who jacked her fucking audience of vulnerable trans people and trans large-hearted trans supporters for like 100K over the course of so many months because she wanted to, I don't know. She treated it like war funds or something to go take down Kiwi Farms. Kiwi Farms is still up to the chagrin of the earth. Not that it would have ever gone down. I found out in the interim, I told this you guys already, I can't believe that like I was away from a side of the internet for long enough to realize that Kiwi Farms was just the re-envisioning of the CWC wiki. Like I've been alive and on the internet too fucking long, but it's the Christopher Weston Chandler wiki that basically started up to replace the CWC, the insane amounts of CWC entries on Encyclopedia Dramatica, because Encyclopedia Dramatica got shut down for a very good reason. It sucked. First and foremost, it was just trash fucking content, because they let the kind of people that would edit the CWC wiki fucking start posting the fucking ED. And ED died. ED got ED and it perished. I think it's still alive on like the fucking whatever. But basically, the CWC wiki is an exercise in no lifism. Like, there is the Christian Weston Chandler. That's Chris Chan, by the way. The Christian Weston Chandler Wikipedia, the CWC wiki, which is now a series of forums and interrelated content creators, loosely known as Kiwi Farms, that operates around a series of websites that have existed as iterations of each other as they fled from hosting provider to hosting provider. The Kiwi Farms forums, which are not like the wikis back in the day. I think there's wikis that are attached to this shit. But basically, think of the worst types of people that are not allowed to edit for Wikipedia or moderate Reddits or Discords. They operate Kiwi Farms. This isn't like a hardcore indictment. If you're one of the Kiwi Farms people that likes to jerk off and tell yourself that you're changing the world by like, I'm documenting the worst sins of mankind exist on the internet, and they are not going to get past me because I am going to write down everything I see. It's a home for people that A-log. It's a home for people that fucking cringe post. And it's a home for a lot of people that are trying to come into their own as lolcows, is what the fucking Kiwi Farms is. Kiwi Farms is the leading provider of lolcow milk to the internet. I will say that, for better or for worse. The reason I bring this up is even I mistakenly gave her credit because I didn't understand what Kiwi Farms was. I didn't understand the genealogical progress. She thought said she had brought down Kiwi Farms. They got Cloudflare, which is like DDoS support and whatever, to drop Kiwi Farms for being too fucking repugnant. It is what it is. I thought Kiwi Farms was just a fucking lolcow forum, which would just, and even at the time I said, well, they're just going to go and do something else. I didn't realize that it was the natural genetic progeny of fucking CWC, which is it's kind of like saying like I've gotten rid of poison ivy in my garden, or like I killed 20 million mosquitoes. Certainly mosquitoes are gone. I thought you eliminated one small type of pest problem and it didn't quite take. I didn't realize that you thought you would cut the head off a hydra in one. It is an endless thing. The second their website would have gotten set, these motherfuckers are dedicated, okay? The people that she's talking about have been A-logging, which is named for a guy named something log, A-log, whatever. A guy that was so overly dedicated to harassing Chris Chan on the internet for CWC content chanting, that he became a lolcow himself. Like, that is the type of people that put this together. They have no lives, for better or for worse. It's not even an insult. Like, I'm not even dogging on you guys, really. If you're listening to this, I'm just describing the amount of time that you have to try to circumnavigate things. These are the kind of people that will literally spend fucking hours upon hours upon hours upon hours upon hours detailing fucking the shit that fucking Chris Chan took in 2012 and like try to figure out the greater importance of that in Chris Chan lore. And they hunger for more. and you have tempted them into knowing that there is more. So like they're never going to go away. I thought the only reason I bring this up is I thought Kiwi Farms would have maybe actually been gone as a site, and then they would have gone to other sites, because I still thought CWC, the CWC wiki existed, and like, you know, you could go to some other Encyclopedia Dramatica offshoot. I didn't realize that you fucking kicked the fucking hornet's nest. They're fine. They're operating as per usual. I've actually used them to double check and do some research on people who crept into my community to see if they were locals, and they were, and they got right back out to wherever the fuck it was they're going. I am not a locale farmer. I enjoy a little bit of fucking, a little bit of the old product here and there, like anybody does. All people consume drama content. But I do not farm or harbor lolcows. I might raise them up from infancy, but I have to send them out into the world at some point. That's the closest thing to a good thing that Clara, whatever her name is, has ever done. Keffals fucking stole some money and then fled the internet. She's been very cringe. The biggest issue with Keffals is that she starts shit and then that shit gets offloaded onto other people to do the defense for, because she is at her best incompetent and at her worst craven. So she like runs away from conflict that she started, and then other people have to kind of come and clean up for her. Her trying to come back to the internet just as Chris Tyson is being fucking broomed away is like the happiest thing for the hyper transphobic subsection of the drama community to happen, because basically what Keffals is doing is reaffirming to the world that her permanent locale status is truly permanent, and there will always be additional Keffals content for people that want to highlight trans people as being freak show, politically inefficacious morons. I'm going to let her talk a bit, skip around.
There's so much going on in the world to actually give a shit about. Like, who the fuck cares? Who fucking cares?
Tipster's here, which is like, I've said this time and time again, that guy is a fuck. I don't have anything personal against Tipster because I don't engage with his content and I don't know who he is or care who he is, other than like a nuclear grade cringe creator. But I will say this. If you see Tipster, if you're another creator, you don't have any problems with me at all. That's fine. You can hate me. But I will tell you this right now. Do you know what an albatross is? Have you ever read Moby Dick? Or it's a dead albatross. He is a portent of doom, right? He is the black dog of English folklore roaming out amongst the moors. If you see Tipster starting to interact with your community, I swear to God, the dude has a sense for people that are about to be like emotionally wounded or something. Like the drama community, from what I understand, like sort of laments the loss of Tipster as a drama creator. And I think it might just be because the dude has like a truffle pig sense for personal shortcoming or like an imminent doom. And so I have seen him talking to smaller creators, considerably tinier creators, kind of out of nowhere while I was poking my head in and learning who people were on the internet. Because I do that's the journalist thing. I do research. I fucking hunt people down. I go look into their past and I check out their content like as far as I kind of, until I get bored or I stop sensing anything amiss. And I double check so that I know where the fucking landmines are. And like Tipster is a literal curse, like a godhead curse demon. If he shows up, if you're a smaller creator, if he shows up in your community, I'm not even going to tell him to leave. I'm going to tell you, you might be fucked. You have to double check what you've been doing because you might have made a mistake. Because the guy is like the king of like cringe takes and shit. I don't know what it is about him. I don't know. I don't have anything against him. But like, I have to treat a plague victim like a plague victim. My heart goes out to you that the plague is eating you. But stay the fuck away from me so I don't get it. Is kind of like my vibe. Like, oh, yo. And so, like, for Tipster to be welcoming you back after you've been in exile for being dog shit is like not good, you know? Because you want to have left whatever caused the issue behind you, and for Tipster to be there like the fucking Grim Reaper opening the door. It's like when the Steve Buscemi's character is like, and it's the Kevin Finnerty scene in Sopranos, like, no, go ahead, just hand that over to me. I don't want to. My whole life's in there. It's fine. Just give it to me. No, Tony Soprano's dream version of himself is like that. Like, that's Tipster saying, like, hey man, can I give you a dono? You'd be like, don't give me a dono. Like, you gotta have a dono. No, just turn and run. Tipster permabanned me from calling him out over the Vosh stuff. It's like crazy, right? Like, you can get banned from Tipster's area for good takes. The guy's a generator. Like, if I found out that he's actually on staff for his skills, like, for some reason, like, he's like, every day I get a like $1,000 from Tipster. It's the same thing that's keeping Medicare alive. The same, like, destined death. Tipster. Oh, hey, well, what's up? I can't remember Tipster's voice even. He's just, oh, what's up? Tipster. A new locale is rising. I need you to go and reach out to this channel. And also, Clara Sorrenti is returning from exile. Welcome her back into the fold. Make her grow stronger. Tell her to sink her tendrils into new and unaware creators. We must have her grow strong again. Her milk must flow. Yeah, okay, I could do that. Good. We push off death again. 2 weeks. Ah, wonderful. You see like a little dono pop up, like $100. Bing! The first of many. The first of many. Tipster is an enemy stand user. Tipster is just a fucking enemy stand. You see a Tipster dono? This must be the work of an enemy stand. But where is he? It seems like it must be a long-range stand. Oh no! Josuke! The guy turned around and he's like, I've become cringe. Where did that webcam and keyboard come from? He looks, what? And like his arm is going typing, and he's like, I really just want to reach out to the most cringe person in their time of need. I don't care what's happening, but I think you're still hot and also very funny. No, I can't stop typing. You gotta stop. Diamond is unbreakable. Cuts his arm off and regrows it. Tipster has the career death note. Yes. Disco Elysium universe content monkey Paul Grim Reaper. He's literally part 5 Rolling Stones. I've got to fucking finish part 5. He's Tipster's stand at this point. I just searched Tipster in the YouTube search bar, and it was a dark experience, dude. It's like, don't walk down that road. It's crazy. Like, because you see him popping. It's like a Da Vinci Code moment when you, like, experience what Tipster is for the first second. Because you see him all over the place. Like, when I started doing my research into other streamers, like, that was the thing. I was watching some Keffals content before I was just like, no, I'm not watching any more Keffals stuff. And I'm definitely never defending her on this weird shit. Because I don't even know that much about the situation. But as a, like, 150 sub guy, like, I've got to make sure I don't prematurely align myself with, like, fucks. Because I don't want people to be like, oh, you only have a career because of the most cringe person ever. Like, you just don't want to do that as a person that's new to an area. You know what I mean? And usually the people, this like ancient knowledge, the people that are the most fucked up might be the ones that like reach out to you first. Like, oh, hey, do you need a new friend? You gotta like be suspicious of that individual, And so like I was looking and like I just started seeing Tipster all over the place, like in a bad way. And it's like, so this guy stacks no dubs. He stacks no dubs. The people who like him the most only like him because he takes the most cringe positions and like almost any time I see him directly related to another content creator, it's like he appears, becomes prominent in their community, and they fucking like tank. I'm like, okay, that's crazy. Like, why is he all over? And then you kind of like look at his content for the first time, and it's like a Da Vinci Code moment where you saw all these points, and you're like, what we have to do is rotate it, and it's and you rotate it, and like all of these things are like cringe, like painful to watch, horrible, oh my god, dead career, and all these things. They turn, and it's just his face, like, like, nah, it was him all along. I'm connecting the dots, fucking doing whatever the super detective autism mode from fucking Sherlock. Imagine being in that fucking studio where that dingus ass fucking Cumberbatch was. You're over there trying to cook sandwiches and shit for craft services. This asshole's getting paid $12 million to not do sign language. Then somebody from Marvel's like, could you do that? Like you're opening a door? And he goes, I think I could. Fucking Benedict Cumberbatch. Oh my god. Somebody get tipster on the Trump campaign, dude. That's it. That actually kind of goes into this.
The shit that happens in the next several months is going to fundamentally change the world that we live in. And that's what I give a shit about. That's what I want to talk about.
So that was perfect. Thank you. I heard all I need to hear. Thank you, Keffals, for providing the maximum amount of content I ever need from you to form an opinion. What Keffals is talking about is the 2024 presidential election in America. Keffals is a fucking Canadian living far afield in Ireland. Okay? Also, like a person who is positioned to flee all of these things and already has to a degree. I couldn't think of very many people whose opinions are less valuable on American politics or on politics in general. I know that like she was apparently involved in some loser fucking like communist party or some shit wherever the fuck she's from. It maybe got kicked out of it for stealing money from them. I don't know. Anybody that tells me that once you steal money from one person or do a little bit of drug fraud anywhere, you're a drug fraudster until you fucking die in my eyes, because I don't need to know anything more about you. Because I'm from like, if you let a fucking crackhead into your area, they'll steal your Ryobi saw because they just do that. You're not a harm reduction specialist. You're a guy with a Ryobi saw and an open door to a crackhead. Just close the door. That's what your responsibility is here, so that you can have your Ryobi saw in the morning. But Tyler, why would you protect a Ryobi saw? Because I'm fucking poor enough. I need a fucking Ryobi saw. I still have it. It did not get stolen. Keffals is not to be trusted. Keffals also has nothing valuable to say. She is not a particularly intelligent actor. She's not good at debate. She got fucking literally dog walked by the Yankee Tanky in a way that was like unanimously embarrassing across the board. I've heard some people were like, no, she looked good in that. And it's like, dude, what are you talking about? Like a harder level of cope than Lore Lodge fans saying that like he beat me in the debate. Like at a certain point, it's not even a braggadocious thing. It's like, that's depressing for you to say. Don't leave the house with that one. Okay, you keep that one in the house. All right. I've never heard any expert opinions. She doesn't seem to know that much. I don't know how much she even knows about the inner workings of American politics. Like, I would demand Keffals articulate how the American federal government is set up, like in a basic sense. Like, describe the three branches of government, their parts and their functions to the best of your extent. And if that conversation went on more than 10 seconds, I would be kind of fucking stunned. I know that she probably knows that Congress is a thing and maybe that the Senate is a thing. How those powers interact with the United States president, she's probably fucking baffled about what the duties and rules regarding the United States presidency are. She's probably completely fucking lost in the sauce. And If she knows an extensive amount of Supreme Court precedent to the point where she can actually like have conversations about Supreme Court precedents in America, that would be pretty wild. If we go back, like obviously everybody knows Roe v. Wade, but like if she knew Miranda, I would be actually pretty fucking impressed. You know what I mean? Like, wow, not enough to actually let her do anything. Impressed, like, when a little kid doesn't shit their pants even though they're wearing a diaper, and you're like, wow, you didn't shit your pants and you used the toilet. Good. Fucking look at you go. You know what I mean? That's pretty much where it would end. Plessy versus Ferguson, Brown v. Board of Education, that would be fire. I'd be like, wow, look at you go. Holy shit. Much less any sort of deeper precedent, much less any ability to like look that shit up or an understanding of the court system that's like robust and deep enough to actually be able to articulate what's going on within the court system. Like being able to say like, oh, having the Supreme Court judges being in charge of everything is bad is like not a level of insight that is impressive. It's also not even a universal Democrat experience. The Democrat side of things has only been saying like, wow, the Supreme Court is too powerful since the Supreme Court started ruling in the favor of Republicans. One of the reasons why our system is full of goddamn dog shit fucking precedents, and that's the only thing that's holding the system together, is because the system used to be more weighted toward the Democratic side. That's why they paid to fucking throw it over. So like, even knowing the like, that history is crazy. Having her like expound upon the histories of like Afghanistan and Iraq, if she got deeper than that, than saying like, wasn't Iraq like your guys like Vietnam of your generation, would be adorable. Because no, it wasn't, because we fucking won in Iraq. What do you mean you won in Iraq? Like, we literally declared an accomplished victory. We have not fled that country. We are just still friendly with Iraq and maintain bases in it. Trying to get her into the depths of like, what is ISIS? Do you think, what are fucking Keffals' opinions on fucking ISIS and the creation of the Islamic State in Iraq and the Levant? Do you know what the Muslim Brotherhood is as an international collection of organizations? Can you speak to any degree on fucking domestic and international terrorism relative to the American world sphere? Do you understand how NATO works? Do you know what the fucking acronym for NATO is? I know I could get her to fucking comment on the price of an 8-ball in fucking Ireland. I guarantee you I could get her up on them fucking on them yak prices out there and the fucking she's not even fucking in Ireland. She's in fake fuck County 6, Ireland. She went to the fucking Tories, of course, as I've heard, because she's a fucking Canadian. So like, what value would that have? Like, does she know American senators? Like, I love this country and I live in it, and I don't have enough institutional knowledge to be like off rip the way like somebody like Sam Cedar is. You know what I mean? Where I can start talking about every fucking senator, and I can start giving, I can at least give you backgrounds once I know where somebody, because I have an understanding to a degree of a lot of regional issues. A lot of times just because I've lived in those regions, believe me. I can tell you where a bunch of the major rivers are in America because I've been on them and I've touched them, and I know where they are on maps. I can tell you what a lot of the agriculture and economic blocks are in different subsections of America. I can tell you where a lot of the poorer parts of America and the rich parts of America are, and what their voting record is. I could probably color in most of a red-blue voting map with my mind. I can tell you what all the states are. Generally, the only ones I get confused by are the fucking four corner states because they're all goddamn squares. I can't do all the state capitals, unfortunately. I wish I could, but my memory's just not that good. I can't tell you the dates of statehood. I can get you most state capitals. One of the ones I need to practice on getting into the election is I always forget the number of fucking Congress people. I always forget. I think it's a total. Hold on. My brain always gets it confused with 538 as in 538.com. $535 members of Congress, 100 in the Senate, 435 serve in the U.S. House of Representatives. So the 538 is the 535 total members of Congress, the president and the vice president. And then, what's the last one? But that's how you can. That's the good thing. 538, the number of that website will help you get there. But I always get confused. So 435 in the House of Reps, 100 in Senate. It's always easy to remember. Vice President and President. Plus 3 reps from DC. Motherfucker. That's correct. That's correct. No, I was trying to get the last 3. That's what I always get confused by. I was like, because it's the 538 is the plus 3 from DC. Thank you. So it's yes, thank you, Smodgy. I told you that I get confused by that, but it's a very awkward number to remember. 435. You know, it's strange. And those reps change all the time. Knowing how the reps work and stuff. Like, does she know how the Electoral College works? That would be kind of cool to find that out, because that gets confusing for people anyway, especially if it's any deeper than they have electors in the states. But like how the electors work and why they were stolen and all that sort of, how voting works, how voting districts work, what is and isn't illegal in America, what the on the ground law is. When I tell you I don't have opinions or try to mitigate my opinions on foreign policy instead of just roasting other countries because it's fun, like that's not like prescriptive, and you should understand that. When people are like, what is your opinions on the fucking French election? I was like, I can't really give you any. I don't understand how France works, because I'm not always comfortable giving my opinions on American stuff outside of couching it in I'm clearly being a fucking combative asshole about bullshit. Like, I'm obviously being a fucking dickhead talking shit about Detroit and New York and stuff. I feel like that should be obvious. At a certain point, you have to filter some assholes. But like, what in the fuck does Clara Sorrenti know about American politics? At all. At all. At all. You know what I mean? Like, what value does she bring to that? And she goes into it later. I'm not even going to fucking watch all the rest of it, because 2.5 hours of fucking hearing her thank people for donos she doesn't deserve and yawning through her own commentary on her own fucking boring ass drug-filled life is just miserable. What does she have to offer? Literally in commentary on American politics, other than, this is ridiculous. I mean, this is so bad because it's bad. Somebody... This is why I tell you we have to do thing that trans people are talking about on Twitter right now. Because if we don't, then bad thing will happen. Bling, bling, bling. Dono. Like, that's it. Like, she literally only exists to parasitize more important things than herself. She is just a literal living mosquito, a fucking tick on the left. And I am going to just promise now that I'm going to be deleterious in my opinions of anybody that extends a fucking helping hand to her. If you are kind to Clara Sorrenti, if you are accommodating, if you are forgiving, if you are just another chancing this individual, you are on notice with me as a grifter yourself, because there's literally no reason to reach out a hand to a fucking con artist other than you want to get in on the con yourself. And I don't care if you're like, I'm just a forgiving person. I'm not, and I'm not going to forgive you. So understand, you can either be happy to death about that, or I'm going to be highly, highly, highly fucking critical of your content. Because I think it's going to be a really good fucking sounding board to separate the wheat from the chaff for anybody who is forgiving of her when she hasn't made any valuable remote attempt whatsoever to mitigate the extreme amounts of damage that she's done to leftist discourse. Because, like, her haphazard, meme-filled, I don't give a shit about public perception of myself or my causes has done insane amounts of damage to the public perception of the causes she purports to be close to, because she's just been completely balls to the wall about stuff. She is a piece of shit in real life. Like, she's just a literal bad person who goes behind people's backs, who rats on them, who tries to use DM fucking blackmail and shit. The kind of person I would fucking eat alive in interpersonal conduct or interpersonal communications. But also a person who has willingly shown that they will turn a ostensibly, not necessarily like a trans cause, but a cause that would detract from the eyes being fucking and the attention being paid to other trans causes. She will detract from those, raise money for that, and steal that money. There's money that needs to be raised in America right now that needs to go nowhere near fucking anything she has. I don't give a fuck I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. If she raised $1 million for any good thing, I would be immediately suspicious of the good thing we thought she was raising the money for. And any attempt to do that, to like fix her image, I don't believe, and literally there is no reason to believe that she's doing it for any other reason than she's investing in rehabilitating her image so that she can do another grift down the road. It's over. Clara Sorrenti Keffals is over. She's a fucking lolcow, irretrievably a lolcow by her own decisions. She's a drug addict and a scammer. And there's no reason to treat her otherwise. If you want to be treated otherwise, my only rule, do it off the internet. Log off and get a fucking job. That's it. I've had a job. I had a job for literally years. I started streaming when I was 35, almost a year ago, right before I turned 36. Because there were no other times before that where I was in a good enough financial position to do it. So I just had jobs. I worked at fucking car dealerships. I worked as a security guard. I worked as a journalist. I worked as a not a bartender. God, I wish. As a bar back, as a bouncer, as a fucking cook in fucking at a Chipotle and other places. I did 1 million odd jobs for a month, 2 months, 3 months down the road while I pursued my creative interests and trained myself to be good enough to do something like this. Keffals is dog shit, so she's not even training herself. She's not learning anything. She doesn't know how to use her equipment that she's invested thousands of other people's dollars in. And I really think of it as other people's money, even though it's a dono, because like, what fucking entertainment did you get from it? Like, are you just paying for a fucking secret OnlyFans or some shit through fucking YouTube dono? What the fuck do you get for it? Because you still have the same, like, literally fucking zanned out goddamn conversational speed, an unfathomable lack of attention paid to or concern given to factual analysis of situations, no research, no fucking energy, slow to the fucking roll and showing up for the fucking bag. Why? Because right now is the best time to get back in the game. She was gone during the doldrums. Remember I was talking about before? Oh, that time? 2 months ago? Remember 2 months ago when it was everyone's going into summer, everyone's going on fucking spring break, everyone's going on summer vacation, and you make less money? Remember that? When was she gone? When was she gone? When everyone else was gone. So she took other people's money and fucking went on a little vacation, and now she's going to come back and try to fucking sponge up on my election from my country. And like literally every time she fucking sticks her head up from now on, I'm going to treat her like dog shit, like the fucking whack-a-mole goddamn game she is, and tell her to go the fuck back to Ireland, shut up and get a job at wherever fucking counts as a Mickey D's back there, because it's about all she's qualified to do is getting fired from second shift manager at a fucking McDonald's. I do not like this individual. I do not trust her motivations, and I do not like the amount of influence that she has in this circle and the amount of notoriety, and I will not be the fucking person that sits by and lets another fucking tick stick its goddamn proboscis into the throat of fucking the working class to siphon off money away from what's actually going to benefit people. Keffals, if you're listening to this, quit. Quit. You're disgusting, and I fucking despise you as a person. Quit. Literally just stop doing YouTube. You don't have to die. You don't have to fucking run away anymore. You don't have to do shit, but get the fuck offline because you don't belong here. You're untalented. You're unfunny. You're unskilled. The best thing you could ever do, have ever done, was ratioing people on a service that won't let you ratio them anymore because a new guy fucking owns it now. So get fucking dunked on. Quit and go get a job at a fucking fast food restaurant or some other fucking whatever the fuck they do in Ireland, because that's all you're literally ever going to be good for. That and doing fraud. You know you can't help yourself. You know that you're a fucking weak person. You don't have the ability to improve your life. You don't have the ability to improve yourself as an individual because you are still engaging in the same behavior that lets you rip people off and fuck over other people's fucking movements before. Fuck you personally. Log the fuck off. Fuck you. And anyone that fucking tries to stick up for her or say give her a second chance, you are on the fucking docket next. And if I can find a way to fuck you up too, I'm going to come after your channel as well. That's it. No more Clara. Keffals, you're done. Get offline. Get the fuck offline. I will eliminate all friendly ports on this side of the fucking aisle. Go hang out with the fucking righties. Switch it up. Call up Ollie London and see what the fuck they've got going on. You belong not near us. Fuck you. That's it. God damn. Literally, touch the beautiful, shiny green grass of Ireland. You know how fucking much? You guys know that Ireland's like my fucking heaven idea, right? I dream about it sometimes. Did I ever tell you guys about Ireland? I've been to Ireland for a total of like 2 or 3 hours on a layover on the way home from my last deployment. It's so crazy to talk about somebody who's an absolute fucking fraud, and then I have to like... Yeah, when I was coming back from my last of the 3 combat deployments I went on in the Marine Corps. Keffals robbed people. She robbed people, if not like literally, spiritually and figuratively, because not only are people going to donate less once they've been defrauded that way, they also can't give that money to people that actually deserve it for the reasons that are fucking stated. She had to rob people to go to Ireland. I had to go on 3 combat deployments and not fucking die. The last 2 weren't that bad, honestly. The first one really was. But we had a layover on the way home because we didn't come home. I was a short timer, and we didn't come home with the rest of the Marines. We came home with a bunch of Navy guys. We got attached to a Navy flight, and so we didn't land in Frankfurt, Germany, or wherever it is. We landed in Ireland, and we got to do a layover in Ireland. And because we weren't with the Navy guys, the Marines got to drink. And also because the Navy commander was like, you guys just came back from what? Like, you were in Iraq? I'm like, yeah, but we were in Al Assad Air Base. And they're like, didn't that place get like bombed and stuff? I'm like, I don't know, maybe. That was on the outside of the walls. It was pretty chill for us. And, you know, we're on our, like, the whole 12 of us were all on from 2nd Battalion, 8th Marines. All of us had 3 fucking pumps under our belt, and all of us had like 2 or 3 months left in. And they're like, you're in Ireland. You might never be coming back here. Go ahead and have a drink. And I drank fucking Guinness. Sorry if I should have drank a different beer. I drank Guinness in an airport that was completely empty in Ireland. And I had been in Kuwait before that for a couple days, maybe a week or so. And I had been in Iraq before that. Brown, gray, orange, dusty, nightmare, hot like a fucking blow dryer blowing in your fucking face. And I got a beer, and I was still smoking, so I was going to have a cigarette. And they're like, yeah, the bartender person's like, you can go out there and have yourself a cigarette. And so we walk out through this little side entrance, and then outside of it is just the fucking countryside, Irish countryside. It was raining just like before, like a midnight rain, you know? And so it's like the light purple of dawn kind of rising in the hills. There's maybe some houses or something over there. I couldn't really tell. And the lights from the fucking airport shining out over all that green. And it was so dark green, like fucking pine trees in the middle of the night. And it smelled beautiful. And I had a beer and a cigarette, and I was like dead. It was you will never have a you made it moment like that. Like, most people will never have a moment that is like on that, like what religious people think of when they trick themselves into spirituality, thinking about their kids or whatever. That was the most insane feeling of my life. I can literally see it. Probably the people that work there go up and down those stairs all the time. They don't even give a shit. It's just a little staircase, a little metal railing on the right side, fucking the airport lounge behind you, and then just green out there. And I was like I had died and risen above myself looking out. And that's what it took to get there. And it was beyond anything. I dream about it. Like, I'll have dreams. And it's like, it makes my soul settle back into my body a little bit more better fitting when I wake up. But it's cool that you can also just rob people and go there too. I bet it's the same experience. I bet you're not diminished in your soul in any way that would take that from you irreparably, and you would never be able to achieve that sort of like spiritual oneness, what with the filthy fucking rag that's tossing around inside your bones. God damn.